Wedded Bliss Love Academy. It's me, Love Coach Tam, and I'm here today to talk all about quality time in relationships. Quality time is so important in a relationship. It just fosters so many different aspects of the relationship from figuring out different relationship conflicts to making sure that you are creating fun memories to improving your communication and enhancing your intimacy. Relationship time is just so important, but life gets super busy and sometimes it's just not possible to make time on the fly when we're all trying to balance our careers, our children, pets, friends, different social gatherings, family events, and things of that nature. So let's jump right in and talk about how can you prioritize quality time in such a busy, busy world. So one of the most easiest ways is to schedule it. You schedule doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, business meetings, and things of that nature. So, why not schedule time with your spouse or partner? Time with your spouse and partner is just as important as a doctor's checkup because you want to check in and check up on your marriage and relationship to make sure that it's still healthy, loving, and thriving. And to have a healthy relationship, you have to make time for it. So make sure you're scheduling an appointment, so to speak, with your spouse. And so if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, you've probably heard me say that dating your spouse is important. It doesn't matter how long you've been together, you should still be dating your spouse. So if you're in a long term relationship and you all have been together for 20 years, it doesn't matter. You should still be dating, going out on a date, surprise gifts hidden somewhere, or doing one of your spouses or partners' chores to make their day a bit easier. These things take time. And so just make sure you're putting the time aside, carving out a little bit of time for your partner so that way they don't feel neglected or forgotten. So these things are very, very important. So maybe you can schedule one day out the week or a weekend getaway or even a week long vacation on a cruise or a resort or something of that nature. I know personally for my husband and I, we always make sure that we go on a trip or something for our anniversary, even if it's stateside. We like to go and, just travel and see the world, learn different cultures, different languages, try different foods in different places. And so we have that commonality. And that's how we choose to spend quality time together. At least once a year, we try to take a trip, and it's usually for our anniversary or Christmas. So that's what I do recommend is scheduling time with your partner. Another thing is turning off distractions. So if you're going to go out on a date with your spouse, it's a huge turnoff for you to constantly be checking like your little Apple Watch or checking your phone notifications every 5 minutes and who's texting me? Who's texting me? Let me see. And you're scrolling in the middle of a date. It's just not very mindful. It's not being considerate of the time that you're spending together. So if you're going to take time with your partner, make sure that you have turned off your devices and all of your distractions. Don't bring your suitcase with you, or not suitcase, but briefcase. Don't bring your work briefcase with you when you're supposed to be spending time together. Hello. Thanks for joining the live. It's kind of a spur of the moment live. It wasn't scheduled or anything, but definitely making sure that you're turning off all of your distractions and things like that. And sometimes I'm guilty of it because I run a couple businesses. And so I'll have this phone over here and that phone for that business over here and a laptop open. And my husband and I will be in the middle of a conversation and I'll see an email come in from a parent or something. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on with this student? And before I know it, I'm lost in the email and haven't heard anything he said. And so I'm guilty of it myself. That's why that is one of the things that I'm working on is when my husband and I are having certain conversations, I have to just flip those phones upside down, close my laptop, put the tablet somewhere else, and just, you know, devote my attention to what he's saying and be intentional about listening. So you got to cut those distractions out, scheduling time together. Another one is creating a routine. If you have a routine in your marriage and relationship, it definitely helps you. I'm so sorry, my stand keeps moving. Thank you for liking and, and subscribing. I appreciate that. I like to come in here and talk about relationship tips, wedding trends, and things of that nature. So, if you make sure you have a routine with your spouse, then it becomes natural to you to make sure that you're making time for them and for that relationship. So, what we like to do is we wake up together. We don't always wake up at the same time. I'm usually up first, depending on what's going on. Now, our schedules are a little bit different, but for the most part, I'll get up first. I'll start getting myself ready and together and things like that. Then I'll go check on him and make sure that he's doing fine, and I'll get things together for him. I'll start getting his lunch together for work and making sure everything is set, so that way it makes it easier for him to get started on his day. So that is something that I like to do in our daily routine. And usually when we have a break at work, we usually send a text message to each other and ask each other how our day is going. And also, when we get home from work, the first thing we do is whoever gets in first, we greet each other at the door, help each other put our bags away, put our coat in the closet, and we just do more things to come together and just make things easier for each other so we can spend time together. So that's what we end up doing in our daily routine, to be present with one another and spend some time. We also have dinner. All meals that we have at the dining room table together. So that also creates an environment of open communication and togetherness. So that's something that we do. If we don't have time for anything else in our day, we make time to have a meal together. We don't always have lunch together, of course, because we work separately now. But before, we were having all meals together because we were working together. So at least one meal together, and then we like to recap our day and just tell each other how work went, how we're feeling, like health wise, physically, mentally. If we're drained, we vent about what was going on, and then we just leave work at work. We don't talk about it anymore, and we move on. We try to do something fun at least twice out the week, and we go on weekly, sometimes bi-weekly dates. We like to still date each other. So yes, we definitely do a lot of things together. We have a lot of similar interests, but we also have a lot of um, differences. So the things that we don't have in common, we do them separately, because having time apart as a couple is very, very important as well. So, in terms of quality time, you need quality time with yourself. So, if you have a hobby that's different than your spouse, that's okay. You don't have to like all of the same things, because you are two individuals coming together to live life together. So, if you do something that your spouse doesn't do, that can be your thing to have self care and, your me time. Like, I'm a part of a few different music ensembles and groups and things like that. And that's what I do separately from my relationship and things like that. So that's what I recommend: spending quality time together, and also making sure that you have enough time apart to collect yourself and nurture yourself. Turning off those distractions, trying to create a routine, and scheduling quality time together. So, those are a few of my recommendations. What these things do in your relationship is it helps you navigate conflicts, because when you are creating memories together as a couple in your marriage, you are learning each other more and more and more. The more time that you spend together, the more memories you make, the more connections and commonalities you discover, and the more open you feel to be honest with your spouse. So that's what quality time does for you. It helps you create a deeper emotional connection, it strengthens your bond, and it also helps to kind of rectify whatever issues you have going on. Because some of those issues can be created from just not getting enough time from each other. And if you have unmet needs, when you're spending more time together, you're able to communicate those unmet needs a lot better. And sometimes you don't even have to say anything. When you're spending enough time together with your spouse and you may have an unmet need, they'll see what those are just by being around you more. And they'll naturally just want to do things, out of love to meet those needs and make sure that you are happy and vice versa. So that's why quality time is so important. I see a few questions asking, um, what some of my qualifications are and things like that. Oh, someone's birthday is today. Happy birthday. I see someone asking, what are my qualifications and experience levels? So I have been an ordained minister for the past 8 years as an ordained minister and 6 years in business as a wedding officiant. So I'm a two-time award-winning wedding officiant with the International Wedding Award. We won the local round in 2022, the global round in 2023, and I have been a certified marriage premarital counselor and relationship coach since 2022. So I've been doing that. Not super long, but long enough to know that this is my passion and I love to help couples and in marriage and in, long-term relationships just enhance their relationships. It's my passion. That is what I love to talk about. It's just what I love to do. I don't think that I ended up doing this by accident. It definitely is what I am meant to do. I feel like it's definitely my calling and it's my passion. So, nurturing relationships and celebrating diversity and love is my favorite topic. It's my favorite thing. So, yes, that is my experience. So, Wedded Bliss Efficient Services is the wedding business where I marry folks here in the elopement room. So, here's the arch where we marry people and a backdrop of the wedding business. So that's what I have going on. And we also do our premarital counseling here as well. In front of me, out of the view of the camera, are the chairs where my couples sit and get their, premarital counseling and things like that. And we talk about all of the things. So that's what we have going on here at Wedded Bliss. Thanks for tuning in. You can check out our website at weddedblissdetroit.com if you are curious about what's going on with us. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok to learn more about what we do here. So I hope that I help someone learn all about how quality time is important and how to prioritize that in your marriage and in your relationships. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, peace and spread love.